What up, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So it's finally here as a hip hop fan. As a hip hop fan, I can truly say this is something that a lot of us have been wondering for years. You know, you hear little things. You hear, oh man, Jay Z don't like Drake. Oh man, Drake hit Jay Z with a subliminal. Jay Z hit Drake with a subliminal. You take two artists who been at the top of their game for so long. You again you wonder a lot of times because you hear little things in songs, and you feel like, man, like, I know I'll be hearing them on records together, but do they got a tight knit relationship? What is it? Everybody's falling out with Drake. What is the real reality of what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, you always hear little stuff in hip hop in songs. But I'm glad Jay-Z has finally stepped up to the plate and let it be known. And he has some good shit to say. That's all I'm gonna say. He has some good shit to say. And he let it be known. Look, man, bro, like, this is what it is. So if you have not seen this clip, please feel free to check it out. And it confirmed a lot of the things that I personally thought. Like, bro, like, Jay-Z, Drake is Drake, but Jay-Z is Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it a little bit.
Thing that you chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl. It's like, oh man, he's choosing the side and he's
Yeah.
putting and he's not.
Like I don't have what do I have to do with that? I chose the guy that was having a monster year. I think it was the right choice.
Word.
It wasn't in some sort of alliance to a battle. I don't.
Yeah.
What I care about them two guys battling, like, what's that got to do with me?
Word.
Have at it. Have fun. It's almost like not on just me. By the way, they drag everybody in it. Like everyone's part of this conspiracy to undermine Drake, I guess. But like, what the fuck? Like, what? I'm fucking Jay-Z. or do respect to him. I'm fucking Hov. Do respectfully.
Word.
Like, for what? To what end?
Yeah.
It couldn't be that these guys just don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't liked each other for a long time.
Before you had anything to do with it.
For a while.
Yeah.
I think this has been brewing, just like me and Nas was brewing.
Yeah.
It didn't happen at the Summer Jam. That happened at Lexington TV sets, the minimum, whatever. It was a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point.
Myth Bleak, what is the Myth Bleak slugs in your hat, right?
It was slugs in your head. It was a bunch of like little things that led up to that point. And then when it happened, it happened. I actually regret that because I really like Nas. He's a really nice guy.
But also to your point, like I remember I was like 10 or 11 when that happened. I was
You had
like,
to pick a side.
well, I was on your side.
Yeah, I can clearly.
But my position was I can't go out and buy Stillmatic or ask my parents to buy Stillmatic.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna borrow it and burn it because I can't deny one mic, you know?
Like, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I ain't supporting them.
Word.
Yeah.
There y'all have it, man. And I feel like he said a lot. And the one thing about Jay-Z, I always feel like he says a lot. He might say a little, but he's saying a lot in the things that he's saying. You know, like, I'm not going to be long and drawn out. At the end of the day, what I'm going to hate on Drake for? I'm Jay-Z. Like, let's keep it 1,000 here. You know what I'm saying? Drake is Drake, but I'm Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like I'm not the first billionaire in hip hop. Let's not act like my brand don't hold crazy weight. Let's not act like I'm considered one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? As much as people love to say Biggie, Tupac, Nas, as much as people love to say that, the reality is that not Drake, but Jay-Z is held at a certain type of standard. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z's held at a pedestal where it's like, bro, y'all forgetting who's the guy that came from rap, you know what I'm saying, and sat next to Warren Buffett. You know what I'm saying? Like, people try to undermine that and make it seem like that's just an easy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I always have this argument with people, and I always say, like, to me, Jay-Z and Drake, to me, I was born in 1990. I came up, with a few artists that I look at and be like, man, they're the guy. Jay-Z played a pivotal role in me loving hip hop. You know what I'm saying? As well as Kanye, as well as Wayne. But when you get to when I got to 2008, 2009, from that point and beyond, you know what I'm saying? So for me in the beginning, it was Jay-Z. Jay-Z was the first artist that I ever, fell in love with music when it comes to hip hop, right? It was Jay-Z. I've obviously heard other people before Jay-Z, right? I heard Tupac. When I first moved to California from Chicago, my brother was playing a lot of DJ Quick, a lot of Sugar Free, a lot of West Coast stuff. And it was great. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was my cousin that first was playing Jay-Z. And I believe it was The Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? And that specific album made me really fall in love with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because to me it just resonated. But I love the hustle mentality. You know what I'm saying? Because people got they reasoning for loving hip hop and what is hip hop and who is the GOAT and who not and this and that. But for me, when I look at hip hop, it's like you coming from nothing to something, right? And if you're coming from nothing to something, right, that's the whole thing about hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got the lyrics. Yeah, you got the origin of it, the break dancing, the DJing, that side of the creative. Obviously, is that. But when you talk about what hip hop truly is, for me, is a person saying, "Yo, I'm coming from nothing to something, and I got a voice, and I'm putting my voice out there." You know what I'm saying? I'm putting my voice out there and letting it be known, what I went through, what I'm currently going through, and you watch a rise of a person who might just been a regular cat. You know what I'm saying? You watching the rise of that. You know what I'm saying? And when you watch the rise of that and you say, look, this is somebody coming from nothing to something, you gotta put Jay-Z at the top of that list. To me, you have to. And then the lyrics have always been so so motivational because again, you're talking about a guy that's telling you what to do. How am I doing it? Where I come from. You know what I'm saying? And I made it from here to here. And again, I'm telling you the story. I'm telling you how this happened. And you're watching every bit of it in real time. Jay-Z say a certain bar. And to me, that's why Jay-Z shit has always hit so hard. When he say a certain bar, you like, yo, dang, like, because the lifestyle add up with it. It's not like, and that's the one thing where I see a disconnect with a lot of artists is like they'll say something, oh man, I'm getting money, I got this and that, but then it's like it don't add up. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that. We don't see that. We might see a little chain, we might see some clothes, but we don't see that. Jay-Z say, bro, I'm this, and that. You see him pull up in an $8 million car. That's his. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was early on. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? If you look at Lost Ones, you take it back a little bit, look at the song Lost Ones. It's like, bro talking heavy. And he's always talk heavy, but he's talking heavy, and it's like, bro, who has an $8 million car? And it's not about the materialistic shit necessarily, right? That's a great thing, you able to have those accomplishments, but it's more about, bro, I came from Marcy Projects. Like, who does what I do? Who? Name one person. It wasn't Pac. Creatively, yes, he was dope. It wasn't Big. No, come on, who else? It wasn't 50. Who else? You know what I'm saying? Who else is standing that toe to toe and saying, look, I came from nothing to something? Name one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that's out there that may have a few better hits or a few better songs than Jay-Z. But to me, what a hip hop star is, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about rap, when you talk about hip hop, to me, ain't nobody fucking with Jay-Z. Now, on the other side of that, you got Drake, right? Drake has been consistent, right? Drake, he's talked about money too. You know what I'm saying? He's talked about coming from, I'm not going to say coming from nothing, but everybody's, and I even want to, even saying that coming from nothing, right? People get it twisted. Oh man, how he came from nothing when he had this, that, and the third. Everybody's coming from nothing is relative to their life. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people understand that. When a person says I'm coming from nothing, to some people, it's always a person that could be like, no, you're not, because you didn't grow up here, but I grew up here. Another person might be like, no, you not, because you had this and I didn't have this, and you know what I'm saying. So again, I'm not saying Drake, quote unquote, came from nothing at all. Like obviously, it's evident that he grew up in a nice neighborhood or cool neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? But he had his struggles the same way other people had their struggles, and everybody's struggles are gonna be different. Now, Jay-Z might have came from a project, and Drake came from a suburb. But the fact of the matter is that everybody has their ways of coming up and saying where they came from, right? But the thing about it is that Drake, for me, when you talk about consistency, when you talk about an artist being consistent, oh, he don't write his own raps. The nigga writing hit songs, bro. He got some of the biggest hits. Forget the rap. He got some of the biggest hit songs for himself and other people. You got to look at the catalog. You know what I'm saying? So when people, oh, well, Drake don't write his own raps, how can Drake be the GOAT? How? I feel like when people say that, I feel like there's a huge group of people that are the people that go and say, everybody's talking about him. I don't want to fit in and talk about the same guy that everybody else is talking about. And I feel like that's corny, because you cannot deny greatness. You can't deny somebody having hit to hit, back to back to back to back to back every single year since he's came out. No dip. No, he's just now dipping and slowing down. And I guarantee you, when this new album come out, he going right back to the top. I guarantee it. It happens every single time he drop an album. You know what I'm saying? So again, I hate when people don't give the credit, especially when people don't give people their flowers when they're here. You know what I'm saying? I hate that, because to me it's very hater like. I see everybody talking about this one guy, but I want to be different, and I don't want to talk about that one guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, and then again, I think the other side of the Drake hate be the fact that, like, yeah, he's a kid from Toronto. He's a mixed race kid from Toronto. Right? That's not the what people would say the epitome of a rapper. He not from the projects. Oh, well, he not from the culture like that, because you know what I'm saying, he not from, you know what I'm saying, Compton. He's not from Chicago. He not from, Bronx, New York. He's not from Brooklyn. So people try to have that thing about why he can't be the GOAT or why he can't be a great. But at the end of the day, like, y'all gonna just look over the fact that he's been consistent since day one. Like, we gonna just people gonna make every excuse. Oh, well, he had Wayne and this and that. We could say Jay-Z had Dame. We could say, you know what I'm saying? We could say a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Oh, well, and everybody does it. Oh, the only reason Jay-Z became Jay-Z is because Biggie died. Okay. I think Jay-Z would have still been the hustler that he is, though. You know what I'm saying? Biggie, of course, was Biggie. But I feel like Jay-Z still would have been the hustler. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they would have probably done shit together. Oh, if Tupac was still here, there wouldn't be a Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick probably would have still been Kendrick. It would have been a Tupac and would have been Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reality. But I feel like people don't really, I feel like we live in a world where people are so quick to hate. They're so quick to be like, the only reason he got this is because of this. The only reason he's at that level is because it's like, to me, that's the equivalent of the guy that's like, I can't give you true props because of what I lack. Because I feel like the bigger that you are, the more myself looks little. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people will not admit, but a lot of people think like that. And at the end of the day, it's like, bro, just give a nigga his props for what he's done. You can't, like, how you say a person is not one of the greats or one of the GOATs if soon as he came out, he's never went down. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about every single year, hit anthems through the whole year. Every album he's come out with has been the biggest album of the year, every single year. But then turn around and be like, that nigga's, man, we get it. Is Drake considered a little corny? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Do I understand you, bro, look at that's the kid from Degrassi. That's the kid with, the mixed race kid who was only around white people, and then when he started doing music, he was only around black people. That's the but to me, believe it or not, I look at most mixed race kids the same way. Not everybody, but most mixed race kids, whether it's my friends, people I know, people I went to school with, it all be the same. When usually it be like if you black and white and you was raised more around your white side at a period of time because that side was more, you know what I'm saying, in your life, then yeah, you're gonna be that until you start getting older. Oh damn, like I do got this black. Oh damn, my dad is old. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people think that he's acting. I don't think that he's acting. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's genuinely my dad wasn't around. I was raised with my mom in Toronto. I've always loved music. My dad's always been in music. If you look back, bro, he he shows y'all. My dad is a country dude. He's a country dude from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like y'all acting like I'm making something up. I would be with my mom. Then when I start being around my dad, I went with my dad and we was around his family. His family's black. like yes, I'm the kid from Toronto. Yes, I got the curly glass hair with the glasses and I was proper because of my mom. Like, but then I start hanging around my dad. Now, like as I'm getting older, oh shit. Then I have these both sides. And he's a not just that he's a Texas guy, but he's in love with music. He's a musician himself. So people don't, to me, people don't put two and two together, and that's why you try to diminish Drake. And you know what I'm saying? To me, this shit is corny. Drake is one of the goats. Jay-Z is one of the goats. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I always say that musically for me, across the board, I gotta hold Drake at that level, that number one spot. I have to. Why? Because of the consistency. Watch when he drops this new album. Y'all seen this video. Watch when I say he drops a new album. Everybody album, it don't compare. You know what I'm saying? Musically, soul wise, bars, the feel of it. When Drake drops an album, bro, you're not listening to nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And the only people that's listening to something else is the people that's low key. Oh well, I can't feel, bro. How you can't? How is not hip hop, bro? You're listening to Hotline Bling. You're not diving into like all the hip hop records. You're just saying, hey, well, you know what I'm saying? And again, it's not to say you a hater if you don't like Drake. It's just to say certain shit you can't deny. I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, but I can't deny the fact that Bad Bunny is who he is. Come on now. I'm not, that'd be dumb. That'd be dumb to be like, he not one of the goats in that lane. How? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. And I'm not a fan. I'm not checking for the album. I don't understand what he be talking about. The feel of it is great. Like people was talking about the Super Bowl. The feel of it is great, but I don't understand nothing he talking about. But I'll be a hater to be like, he not one of the GOATs in that lane. I'll be a hater. Look what he doing. That's all I'm saying. So again, when you look at this response of what Jay-Z said, it's like, bro, it make you really think like y'all are fans. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time to sit back and be like hating on somebody else. Now, you can look at everybody that has had beef with Drake, the Rick Rosses and the Futures, and you know what I'm saying, the Pusha T's, which they all they names hold weight, but it don't hold the type of Jay-Z weight. It don't. You know what I'm saying? And if we can't tell by now, you could tell. Like as an example, I'm a big Rick Ross fan. Rick Ross is in my top 10 for sure, right? That's just me, right? But Rick Ross is the type of dude you could tell like he's a little confrontational. Jay-Z, you could tell he not confrontational, and if he is confrontational, he's not confrontational on platforms. Nigga barely say anything. So you know what I'm saying? That's why people be sitting there thinking like, oh man, he's this and he's that. He probably think this, or he probably, he probably hating on Drake, and that's why he put Kendrick on the Super Bowl. And the whole time it's like Kendrick had the biggest year in hip hop. Why would I not put him on the Super Bowl? Like, why would I? He had the biggest year. Like, y'all overthinking it. He had the biggest year. Like, what? Like, he didn't? Like, we gonna pretend that he didn't have the biggest year in hip hop. That's why I put him on the Super Bowl. And like I said, that's why I say I love when Jay-Z come out and say the shit that most people thinking, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? We don't really know. You like, bro, I don't work with feelings, bro. I don't care about the fact that they battling. Like, I had my battle with Nas. I'm not sitting there like, oh, well, I got to pick a side. You know what I'm saying? So I love the response. One time for Jay-Z, man. One time for Jay-Z. One time for Jay-Z. One time for Drake. You know what I mean? One time for Jay-Z. One time for Drake. One time for Kendrick, man. Again, Kendrick did have the biggest year. When it comes to the battle, Kendrick definitely won that battle hands down. But as I've always said, when it comes to the overall, who is the GOAT, you got to go with Jay. Well, overall for me, Jay-Z, but you got to go with Drake within that Kendrick, that back and forth for Kendrick and Drake. To me, you got to go with Drake overall, right? You can say, hey, well, I'm just more of a fan of Kendrick. I relate to him more. That's fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But who's really messing with Drake? Let's be honest. Like, it's not about how you feel, how you view music. Oh, well, he's not hip. Who's the bigger star? The same way with Drake and with Jay-Z and Nas. It's not about who you feel is the greatest, is a better rapper. Who transcended the game? Jay-Z or Nas? Who's continuing to be the bigger star? Who took what he got from the game and took it and ran with it? You know what I'm saying? I think that's in every field. I don't care if you're a barber. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you're a YouTuber. Oh, well, I like, who Aiden Ross as a streamer more than I like Kai Cenat, but who transcended the game? Both are big, but who transcended it? Who took it and made so many people who weren't into streaming look at streaming? Kai Cenat. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's transcending the game? Oh, well, I think this other streamer is way better than IShowSpeed. But who transcended the game? Who started doing stuff that niggas was not doing? Speed. You know what I'm saying? I'm going around the world doing. So that's what I mean when I say, to me, it's always going to be Drake when it comes to that battle of Drake and Kendrick, or when it comes to the battle of Drake and whoever his peers are in his genre or in his class. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And it's always going to be Jay-Z when you look at his class. You know what I'm saying? And the other ones, obviously, you have Kanye. You know what I'm saying? I always say I go my top 5. Me personally, I go Drake as number 1. Jay-Z is number 2. Wayne is number 3. And he's kind of mixed in with Kanye as number 4. They be back and forth to me because of what they each did. You know what I'm saying? I might have Kanye over Wayne, but to me, Wayne's bars is a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And my last one, and people always be like, man, who? I always say Ross. You know what I'm saying? Ross to me is just, when you talk about a boss, you talking about coming from nothing. When you talking about taking his situation, you talking about bars of what he's saying and is true. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the drug part. You know what I'm saying? We all know he put 10 on that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about just who you are as a artist and who you are as a person from hip hop. Come from nothing, make something. Always go there with it. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. One time for Drake, one time for Jay-Z, one time for Kendrick Lamar. I'm glad Jay-Z finally clarified because again, you know, he never does interviews like that. So, you know, I think that was super dope. But let me know how y'all feel in the comments. As always, I appreciate the love and support. Appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.